So the part that bothers me the most personally is that this is public land that has been turned over without any benefit to the county. Taxpayer land turned over to a private entity who's going to charge people to use it.
We're bringing this all to the county at no cost to the county. It's a considerable cost to the county to continue to pursue the various procedures that they're pursuing. We estimate it's by looking at the outside legal fees that the school board has paid and all the staff involved that we've been able to discover through documents that have made available to us through the the Public Information Act. Tremendous amount of staff time has been put into this.
Where they did make a deal with Nick, they said, well, yes, we violated the Open Meetings Act, but he settled with them so that he wouldn't be kicked off the land at the end of 2011, December 2011. And we felt, obviously, that was essential so that we could continue this fight. So then they extended it to the middle of August of this year. And then that's when they went ahead and his daughter and other young farmers came together to establish a half-acre educational farm on the same property.
And Brickyard Educational Farm sits inside of Nick's Organic Farm. I came back home after studying sustainable agriculture at the farm school in Athol, Massachusetts, to help start up Brickyard Educational Farm because I felt that this land should be used for agricultural educational purposes since it is owned by the school board. So we started up in January and we defined our mission to basically connect the children of this local region with the land, food, and water that sustain them. And that's been our bottom line mission. What we're doing now is to extend our future vision and mission to incorporate a farm incubator program that would train new and beginning farmers to farm sustainably and locally.
Nick has sort of been informally educating people on the land for a long time, educating new farmers. He's had college classes come in and do studies on the farm. But in the last few months, we've started the Brickyard Educational Farm, which is the purpose of Brickyard Educational Farm is to teach young Montgomery County students about local food and farming and the soil and water and environment and biodiversity that sustains all of us. So students learn about plants, and we have a flock of chickens, and they come to the farm and learn about where their food comes from. And so we've already served over 1,000 Montgomery County students in the last couple of months, and we hope that the county will see the merits of using educational land for educational purposes and grant Brickyard Educational Farm the authority to continue this on Nick's Organic Farm.
Montgomery County could be a leader, a national leader in outdoor education, farm to school stuff. They could be taking a lead on this. And if they let this land go and they let this farmer go, they've lost that opportunity. They really have. And the other thing to really understand here is that all across the country is becoming more and more apparent that when you talk about resiliency with the coming climate change and a terrorist attack or a huge debilitating weather event, we need to have places locally where we can have food.
We have recently heard the county executive and leadership in MSI Montgomery Soccer Inc. say that this is just a small pocket of people in Montgomery County, mostly in Potomac, who don't want these soccer fields. And so we had this rally to show that actually there's a very widespread support for saving this farm, very diverse support from across the county and really across the nation to save this farm.
The two so-called public meetings they had were after the fact, and at the first public meeting back in April of 2011, 250 community members showed up, and 2 stood up and spoke in favor of soccer. Everybody else dead set against this whole thing. The second meeting was conducted by the county in order to get the feedback from the community about how they wanted the soccer fields developed. And we kept saying, we don't want the soccer fields developed. At that meeting, MSI had sent around a mass email to all their members, families, and they said, we need you at this meeting. We need to see a strong show of support for soccer. Well, at that meeting, which took place at the Potomac Community Center, 350 people showed up, and maybe between 40 and 50 were there with soccer balls. The rest, were, again, outraged citizens. We want a proper process here.
Board of Education was found in violation of the Open Meetings Act on 2 different accounts, and so that lawsuit has escalated and could lead to the nullification of the lease completely. And then also, as this lease moves forward with MSI, which is the legality of that is being questioned, but as it moves forward, there's a mandatory referral process, which means the Department of Parks is going to look at the master plan and whether do a number of studies, I believe a traffic study, and possibly we're pushing for them to do an environmental impact statement as well to see whether this piece of land can actually accommodate soccer fields, whether it's appropriate use of the land.
We're hoping that the citizens across the county will continue to give us their support. We'll continue to make our legal challenges as strong as possible, and we'll continue the farming and the education.